A fiery explosion rocked a cruiser ship. No bomb was found on board, leaving investigators puzzled. Could someone have fired on the boat from shore? A news anchor scoffed at the idea. Physically impossible, he declared. Sinking a vessel that size would require a massive military weapon. It'd leave clear traces, easily tracked, highly unlikely. But a physicist named Yukawa countered, unlikely? Everything has an explanation. He demonstrates a Gaussian acceleration device to a skeptical audience. A steel ball rolled along a rail, striking a row of stationary balls. The last ball shot forward at the same speed as the first. This is the law of energy and momentum conservation, he explained. Now watch closely. He placed a powerful neodymium magnet near the rail. Just before impact, the rolling ball surged with sudden acceleration. That extra speed transferred to the final ball, sending it rocketing off the rail. Imagine multiplying this magnet's strength 100-fold, he said. That tiny steel ball could become a high-speed projectile, a bullet. A superconducting accelerator could achieve this. Inspector Hayashi questioned, "Who could build something like that?" she asked. The physicist answered, "Superconducting magnets are found in CT and MRI scanners." Hayashi said, "You're suggesting Umeyashiki Medical Systems?" The physicist nodded. "They have a research facility near Haneda Coast." She asked, "How do you know this?" He smirked. "Electromagnetic noise. Locals reported clocks stopping, TV signals disrupted, classic signs of a superconducting magnet at work." Hayashi wasn't convinced. "You scientists think you can explain everything. What about questions science can't answer?" The physicist said, "Such as?" She crossed her arms. "Love." He chuckled, dismissive. "Love? That's just irrationality at its finest." Ishigami, a math teacher, wakes to the voices of Ms. Hanaoka and her daughter, who are his neighbors. At the restaurant, while ordering, Ms. Hanaoka, who owns the place, remarked, "It's getting cold out." Ishigami began to respond, but a man interrupted. As he exited, Ms. Hanaoka said, "Have a good day." Later, Ms. Hanaoka's ex-husband, Shinji Togashi, forced his way into her home. She pleaded, "Please leave." Misato comes home from school, and Ms. Hanaoka instructs her to go to her room. Desperate, she offered Togashi money to leave. He lingered, stopping at Misato's door. "She'll be a beauty," he told his ex-wife. "Get her working at a nightclub in a few years." Misato, enraged, grabbed an object and struck him on the back. Ishigami, next door, heard the thud. Togashi, dazed, attacked the teen Misato, beating her ruthlessly as she fell to the floor. Ishigami heard the struggle. In a frantic moment, Ms. Hanaoka wrapped a heater table cord around Togashi's neck, strangling him tightly. Misato, battered but defiant, helped. In the chaos, Togashi died. Stunned, they whispered, "What have we done?" The doorbell rang. "Is everything okay?" asked Ishigami from the next door. "It was just a cockroach," she stammered. In a low tone, Ishigami murmured, "Ms. Hanaoka, it wasn't a cockroach." Reluctantly, she let him inside. At the crime scene, police found a stolen bicycle nearby. The victim's clothes were burned, fingerprints obliterated, face unrecognizable. "Forget dental records, they'll take too long," an officer said. They identified the victim as Shinji Togashi, 39, unemployed, via DNA from hair at an Otter Ward Inn where he'd stayed. The inn's proprietor had reported stolen items, including keys. Prints on the bicycle matched those at the inn. Togashi was strangled with a heater table cord, time of death between 6 and 10 p.m. on December 2nd. Police visited Ms. Hanaoka, Togashi's ex-wife. She claimed she and Misato went to a movie in Hibiya after work. They questioned Ishigami, her neighbor, about visitors on December 2nd and his whereabouts. "I was home by 7 p.m., he said. Later, from a phone booth, Ishigami called Ms. Hanaoka. "Don't show the movie stubs unless the police ask," he advised, "and don't keep them in a drawer. Put them in the movie program." Ishigami reassures Hanaoka, "Logic is on our side." The cruiser ship explosion introduces a scientific mystery solved by Yukawa's Gaussian acceleration device, highlighting his rational brilliance while foreshadowing the limits of logic in human affairs. Meanwhile, Ishigami's protective actions toward Hanaoka and Misato after Togashi's death reveal his emotional devotion, setting up a tragic clash between calculated deception and the unpredictable force of love. The police visit Yukawa, the physicist, and state that the main suspect has a strong alibi. The police explain that Ms. Hanaoka's alibi is that she was at a movie in Hibiya during the crime. She showed us a movie program, and when asked for tickets, while she searched, we found them inside the movie program. Yukawa muses, if she's the criminal, catching her will be tough. An average person wouldn't think to store ticket stubs so carefully. If she did that to strengthen her alibi, you're up against a sharp mind. The police mention her neighbor, Ishigami. Yukawa says, I rarely use the word genius, but Ishigami is one. Ms. Hanaoka asks Ishigami, why are you helping us? Ishigami replies, that man made you suffer, and also I'd hate to lose your lunches. Misato tells her mother, it's amazing, isn't it? Everything's happening as he predicted. Ishigami is seen smiling and happy while walking. Yukawa visits Ishigami at home and asks, why teach high school math? Why didn't you continue in research? Ishigami explains, I left university when my mother became bedridden. When Yukawa presents a math theorem from the department, Ishigami dives in eagerly. The next morning, Ishigami shares his findings. Yukawa grins. The genius still has it. When asked about his neighbor, Ishigami says, I just buy lunch from her shop and occasionally greet her. They walk through a street Ishigami frequents where homeless people live. Ishigami asks, how do you stay so young? I envy that. Yukawa chuckles. That doesn't sound like you caring about looks. Police are clear in their minds that Ms. Hanaoka was the perpetrator. But they lack evidence, the murder weapon which strangled Togashi. They speculate she had an accomplice, as the cover-up seems too complex otherwise. Yukawa texts the female officer, asking her to meet at the crime scene. She explains, the victim came by bicycle to meet Ms. Hanaoka. Yukawa asks, what's the proof he came by bicycle? She replies, fingerprints on the bicycle.
遺体の指まで焼いた犯
Yukawa
人が指紋
questions,
を拭き忘
why
れ
were
る
there
のは変
prints?
だ。
Wouldn't the killer, careful enough to burn clothes and fingers, wipe them off? He explains, the killer left prints on the bike intentionally to suggest the victim rode it and was killed here. The officer interjects, so the victim was killed elsewhere and brought here. She shows where the bicycle was stolen, stating it was taken between 4 and 11 p.m. Yukawa asks, why that time frame? She answers, the owner reported it stolen. She points to where the bicycle was tied. Yukawa asks, why steal a tied bicycle when many here aren't secured? Is it brand new? He concludes, a new bicycle was stolen to ensure the theft would be reported. The female police officer notices Yukawa and Ishigami entering Hanaoka's lunchbox shop, where Yukawa sees an old acquaintance addressing Hanaoka as Yasuko. From a phone booth, Ishigami asks Misato, which friend did you run into on the 2nd of December night? You haven't told the police about it till now, right? Misato replies, no, as you instructed. Ishigami says, listen carefully. The female officer asks Yukawa why he visited Hanaoka's shop. Do you suspect her? Yukawa replies, I'm doing this out of curiosity, not to assist the police. The officer presses, what's your personal interest? She adds, are you investigating the math teacher? He frequents her shop. It's reasonable to think he likes her. That could be his motive to help her. Ishigami has no alibi for December 2nd, and as you said, the person must be exceptionally smart. Yukawa responds, Ishigami isn't directly involved in the murder. He got involved only after she killed her husband. If Hanaoka had asked him to help kill her husband, he'd have devised a different plan. As a genius, he'd see murder as illogical. Yukawa continues, once he learned of the murder, he crafted ways to mislead the police, creating her alibi, instructing her on when to provide evidence and how to respond. The officer asks, Ishigami created her alibi? Yukawa nods. He left prints on the bike and clothing unburned. The officer asks, intentionally. Why? Yukawa admits, I don't know. She suggests, criminals make mistakes. Yukawa counters, not him. He wouldn't. The officer receives a call from a colleague. We got testimony from Misato's friend, whom Misato met at the theater before the movie started. Thus, Ms. Hanaoka's defense became much strong. Hanaoka dines with her acquaintance, Kudo. As she exits his car, she spots Ishigami watching them, but he vanishes when she looks again. The officer visits Ishigami at his school. The police ask why he was absent the morning of December 3rd. He says, "I wasn't feeling well." They note he did the same on December 2nd. Ishigami explains, "I slept late researching." They counter, "Your colleagues said you never missed 2 days in a row." They ask about his relationship with his neighbor. Ishigami trails Hanaoka as she meets Kudo again. Taking a photo of them, he thinks, "I have a right to demand you break it off with this man immediately." While having dinner with police officers, Yukawa, struck by an idea, asks for Ishigami's attendance sheet. It shows absences on the mornings of December 2nd and 3rd. Yukawa realizes something but keeps it to himself. Kudo shows Hanaoka a letter. "Stay away from her. You can't make her happy." A photo of them is attached, frightening her. At home, Misato asks, "Was it Kudo again?" Hanaoka asks, "Do you think I shouldn't see him?" Misato replies, "You don't want to upset Mr. Ishigami. He's helping us because he likes you." Hanaoka snaps, "Must I live worrying about what he thinks? That makes him no different from Togashi." Ishigami calls Hanaoka, saying, "I left 2 letters in your mailbox. Keep the white envelope, but destroy the brown one after reading. This is the last time we'll speak." Ishigami turns himself in and confesses to murdering Togashi and admits to being obsessed with Hanaoka, stalking her. He sent the letter and photo to Kudo as a warning, as he doesn't like other men coming near her. Spotting Togashi near his apartment, Ishigami lured him to a secluded location with a fake address to kill him. When asked if he planned the killing, Ishigami says, "Of course. I strangled him with a heater table cord, smashed his face with a rock, burned his fingerprints, and cut and burned his clothes in an oil can. The cord, burner, and knife are in my apartment." The police ask Ishigami, "What made you turn yourself in?" He replies, "Ms. Hanaoka betrayed me." They ask Hanaoka, "Did Ishigami stalk you?" She hands them a white envelope, as Ishigami instructed the previous night. The letter reads, "I've checked on the man you're seeing. What's your relationship with him? If you're romantically involved, I consider it a total betrayal." Misato is crying silently after Yasuko Hanaoka, her mother, hands over the letter proving Tetsuya Ishigami's stalking behavior. Misato, as a perceptive teenager, likely understands the extent of Ishigami's devotion to her and her mother. Misato's tears may reflect her realization that Ishigami is sacrificing everything for them, despite having no obligation to do so. After the police leave, Hanaoka opens the brown envelope, which Ishigami told her to destroy after reading. It instructs, "The police will visit again soon. Say you were stalked by someone. This will protect you. Mr. Kudo seems sincere and trustworthy. Marrying him should bring you and Misato happiness." Yukawa tells the female officer, "Ishigami once asked how I stay young, saying he envied me. It surprised me. He never cared about appearances. That's when I realized he was in love." The officer asks, "What exactly did he do?" Yukawa sighs, "Exposing the truth won't make anyone happy." She replies, "The Yukawa I know stays logical, unswayed by emotion. If the truth pains you, let me share the burden." Yukawa says, "Will you listen as a friend, not a cop?" Yukawa meets Hanaoka. "Your alibi is real. On December 2nd, you and Misato saw a movie. You never lied." Hanaoka nods. Yukawa asks, "Didn't it seem odd you didn't need to lie, that police only asked about December 2nd? That's because you killed Shinji Togashi on December 1st. Ishigami made the ultimate sacrifice to protect you and Misato without your knowledge." At the police station, Yukawa confronts Ishigami. "Hanaoka killed Togashi, and you covered it up. You saw evidence of a struggle. Someone strangled him while another held his hands." When Ms. Hanaoka told she will turn herself in to the police, Ishigami replied, "Evidence suggests both of them killed him, and both will be arrested. In Togashi's wallet, you found a boarding room key. To build an alibi, you devised a plan. If the body were found, autopsy report would reveal date of death as December 1st. If police questioned them about their whereabouts on December, they couldn't sustain the act. So you prepared another body to look as Togashi's. The body found wasn't his. You murdered someone whose absence wouldn't be noticed. A homeless man. You gave him Togashi's key, asking him to stay in the room until evening, leaving his prints and hair. He wore Togashi's clothes and met you at night. On a stolen bicycle, you rode to Omori, where you strangled him with a heater table cord. Yukawa continues. You pulverized his face to hide his identity, left prints on the bike and clothing to match the ins, making it seem the killer slipped up. You let police focus on Hanaoka after giving her an airtight alibi, unconnected to the body. You disposed of Togashi's body, likely dismembering and scattering it, explaining your absences on December 2nd and 3rd mornings. By confessing, you ensured your guilt would hold under interrogation, protecting the one you love. But you killed an innocent homeless man to save her. As Ishigami tries to leave, Yukawa adds, I told Hanaoka the truth. Ishigami pauses. Yukawa laments, what a shame, a brilliant mind wasted on this. Ishigami replies, only you would say that. Ms. Hanaoka, I doubt you will understand what I'm talking about. Ms. Hanaoka and Ms. Misato, thank you, I wish you both happiness. Please forget everything about me. You must not have guilty feelings. For if you don't find happiness, all my work will go to waste. Ishigami reflects, Ms. Hanaoka, I'm eternally grateful. I was in despair, ready to give up, but you saved me. Good morning, sorry to disturb you. We just moved next door. Please accept this small gift. Hanaoka cries, why did you do this? You can't expect us to be happy alone. I'll atone and take punishment with you. His tears come when Yasuko, overwhelmed by guilt, confesses in public, nullifying his efforts. This moment shatters his stoic resolve, as the one thing he fought for, her freedom and happiness, is undone by her choice to share his punishment. His crying reflects the pain of seeing his sacrifice rendered meaningless. With you. The officer tells Yukawa, Hanaoka admits her guilt, but Ishigami denies it. She reflects, if he'd never felt love, he wouldn't have made this mistake. Who'd have thought he could love so deeply? She kept him alive.